Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Town of East Gwillimbury's Municipal Council meeting, and at this time, I will call the meeting to order. Please note that Mayor Haxon is absent with notice, and in her absence, and in my capacity as acting mayor, I will be chairing today's meeting. So we'll start off with any declarations of interest from any of the council members here tonight. Seeing none, we'll go forward with the land acknowledgement. The Town of East Gwillimbury recognizes and acknowledges the lands originally used and occupied by the First Peoples of the Williams Treaties First Nations and other Indigenous peoples, and on behalf of Council, I thank them for sharing this land. We also acknowledge the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation as EG's closest First Nation community and recognize the unique relationships that the Chippewas have with the lands and waters of this territory. They are the water protectors and environmental stewards of these lands, and we join them in these responsibilities. So we move on to D, deputations. We don't have any, so the team's in luck. And now we go on to E for presentations. And this is very special to me. I'm actually an alumni of Huron Heights from 25 years ago. So this evening we're celebrating both the senior and the junior Warriors football teams. And I just want to, just some interesting information leading up to their success, and then I'm going to turn it over to Rhonda Wilson, who's going to say a few words as well. So I'd like to start with the juniors football team. So on November 30th, defeating Peterborough with a 42-3 win, the team won the Junior Metro Bowl Invitational. And so the tournament involves schools from Toronto, Peel, Durham, Niagara, and Brantford, and the Huron Heights Junior Warriors came out on top. So this is truly an amazing accomplishment, and we know you are all very proud of your win as we are. And it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, hours of training and commitment to the team. So when it all comes together in the form of a big win, it makes it all worthwhile. So on behalf of council and our residents, I extend to each of you, your coaches, your families, our sincerest congratulations on this great achievement, and encourage you to keep going, because there's more great things ahead. And for the seniors team, we are pleased to have the Huron Heights Warriors with us this evening so we can formally acknowledge and celebrate their recent win on the Golden Horseshoe Bowl, November 28th, demonstrating a dominating performance over Corpus Christi Longhorns in Windsor. And the Warriors football program has a solid reputation and is among the best in the province and the country. And this win places the senior Warriors team atop in the province as it finishes the football season. And while it takes a team to succeed, and we know you are all dedicated to the sport, I do want to give a special mention to the team's first ever female wide receiver, Chloe Winterton, the lone female on the team. And the Warriors share that Chloe became the first female athlete in school board history to win an OFSAA football championship. So to the entire team, coach, and staff, I extend congratulations on behalf of our council and residents. Amazing achievements, Warriors. We look forward to what you're going to do next year. And just before I turn it over to Rhonda, well, got the move in the chair, I just want to call out, because I've been following on social media, and it is very special about the recognition that you folks are receiving for the accomplishments that you have made this year. And, you know, sitting here as you're getting older and you're looking back on high school and you're looking back at everything that ends up happening, I hope you recognize, even though you're getting paraded around and everybody's saying congratulations to you, this is such a very special time for you. And I just take 30 seconds and just realize how special this is, because it really is a special time in your lives. So congratulations.
Thank you, Acting Mayor Johns. I'd like to add some further details related to the Warriors team that speaks to their connection to East Gwillimbury. For those who may not be aware, Huron Heights Secondary School is one of EG's designated high schools located in Newmarket. 15 players on the Huron Heights Warriors football team are EG residents, including a coach. Some are joining us here this evening. In addition, many of the Warriors football team players have volunteered over the years at our town EG events, are part of our Engaged EG volunteer program, and some are actually our camp counselors, aquatic staff, and recreation program staff. Thank you for allowing me to share this additional information with you. And now I am pleased to invite Coach Weir to say a few words.
Okay, on behalf of the program, Coach Placco, Coach Graham, and all the players who are here, I just want to say thank you very much for having us and recognizing us. And it's been kind of a whirlwind the past couple of weeks since it all took place. Just most recently, obviously, with Tony Van Biden up in Parliament in Ottawa and name dropping us and everything. That was I didn't know that was going to happen, so that was kind of cool. And then obviously being invited down to the legislature in Toronto, and that was really cool. So, and then obviously Newmarket doing the rally and yourselves doing this, we really do appreciate it. I know the kids appreciate it, lots of people talking about it and so forth. And this year was a great success with our juniors and our seniors coming out on top in the province and arguably the nation. EG has a special place with us. We've had so many kids come. I've been with the program. Coach Placco's been with the program. How long have you been with the program, Paul? Since '99. I've been there since '04. And it's just been, there was a time where Mount Albert made up about 75% of the team, and maybe you guys could get some more turnover in the housing or something. But we still have a large portion of the junior and the senior team who are from the EG area, and we're really thankful for all you guys and all your support and everything. The program, though, is kind of taken on a bit of a life of its own. It's bigger than any one of us, and unfortunately, with the cost of everything and the amount of fundraising that these guys do, they're so dependent on, because we don't get any money, by the way, from the board or anything like that. Everything is we're all self-sufficient. We have an alumni parent booster club, and with the recognition and the winning we're doing now, I know a couple of the MPPs came by the school the other day along with some parents, and we've had trustees involved, and I don't know if y'all, because the field really hasn't changed, Brian, since you were there. And I think they leveled it off. When was it, in 08? 07, 08? They leveled it, which was very nice. But the issue we're having, and I know that everyone's now kind of the attention is on it, is they're looking at trying to upgrade the facilities. I know Mayor Taylor from Newmarket is at the table, and we would invite you guys to, to get involved and try and help us upgrade our facilities. I know they're looking at lights, and there's talk of turf and a track, and but for the school and these kids and how hard they work and the success they've had, and it's not just this year for some of you. We've been doing this I've been there for 20, and we are the winningest team in high school football program in Canada. We've won the national title twice out of the past 3 years. It's just, and the kids who not just from EG, but from all over the region, who are coming to us and going off to university and colleges and just doing great things and continuing their football career. And former EG resident Corey Watman, and who went on to the CFL. And so thank you very much for your support. And like I said, we invite you to maybe have a seat at the table in the coming weeks and months, as it seems, although I'm not at the table yet, but it seems everybody else is, and they have all these great ideas, which is fantastic. So I know Newmarket is in, the province is in, Premier Ford is in, and so we would hope that you guys would jump on board as well. So thank you very much from the entire team and everything else. Thank you.
So we're going to go take some pictures, and I got some things to give you, and you can keep in the school. But so I need a mover and a seconder to take a brief recess. So Councillor Roy D. Clemente and Councillor Leahy, all those in favor? All right, we will be back. Wonderful. Thanks, Madam Clerk. Thanks, everybody. From a housekeeping perspective, should I do resolve the presentation that we had? So we need to receive it. So I'll read this and then. So be it resolved that Council recognize the Huron Heights Warriors as the Ontario Federation of School Athletic Associations OFSAA 2023 Golden Horseshoe Bowl champions and as the 2023 Junior Metro Bowl champions. Looking for a mover and a seconder to receive. Councillor Foster, Councillor Leahy. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Wonderful. Okay, so we are down to now item F in our agendas, which is committee's recommendations. Before we go ahead, are there any items that council wishes to pull out or separate out? Doesn't appear so. So can I have a mover and a seconder for this as well? I have Councillor Roy D. Clemente, Councillor Crone, did I see it? Yeah, thank you. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Adoption of the minutes. This is from December 5th. From that meeting. So I'm looking for a mover and a seconder from the, yep, Councillor Crone, thank you. Councillor Carruthers, thank you. All those in favor? All those opposed? Now, council minutes from December 5th. Looking to adopt those from December 5th.
Acting Mayor Johns, I have a question.
Yep, for sure.
With regard to this, if we may, I have a question in terms of procedure with regard to after we rose from closed session in that meeting, our CAO and other staff did not return. I'm not sure if they were aware that the closed session had completed and we had come back into the public session. And so when we were discussing item number M, correspondence from our MP Scott Davidson, that was not, there was the remainder of staff did not come back to the council chamber. So my question is with regard to procedure, if that should be reflected in the minutes, that after we rose from the closed session, that all of the staff did not return for the completion of the meeting.
Madam Clerk.
Through you, Mr. Chair, typically at the beginning of the minutes they are reflected. However, it was procedurally, it's not about a procedure practice-wise. We have never outlined who has left the meeting and who has not returned in an open session. That has been captured in the closed meeting proceedings, but not in the open session. But if it is the will of council to have that placed as a change into the minutes, we can certainly amend it to reflect who was not in attendance at that time.
Councillor Roy D. Clemente.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to the clerk, does our procedural bylaw require that all GMs are sitting here, or is it simply a matter of standard practice that we have that?
Through you, Mr. Chair, that would be a standard practice that we have. It's not a requirement embedded in the procedure bylaw for senior management team to be noted.
So as long as there is a staff representative while council is deliberating, i.e. a clerk, then council can proceed and we don't necessarily need to reflect that in our minutes as who's present from the staff team, provided that there is a staff representative.
Through Mr. Chair, that's correct. Statutorily, any meeting of council would require to have the municipal clerk present as a staff person.
Thank you.
Councillor Leahy.
Yes, thank you very much. So I'm curious as to the reason for the anomaly in terms of what we normally do. And normal procedure is when we rise from a closed session, the staff and whoever else is not in that closed session is alerted that we are back in the public meeting. And so that didn't take place at the last meeting. So I'm wondering about the procedure involved with that.
If you're speaking specifically to procedure, I will again take it to the clerk, but I'm happy to respond operationally as well.
Through you, Mr. Chair, just to clarify the question, Councillor Leahy, perhaps if you could rephrase that, is your question in relation to staff not being notified that we rose into the open session, or is the question in relation to the names not being captured on the minutes?
Well, it was both originally. My first question was, should it be reflected in the minutes that the staff were not in the open session once we rose from the closed session? And then my second question, follow-up question is, because it was not the norm, usually when we're in a closed session and we rise from that closed session, the staff are then alerted that they should come back to if it's deemed appropriate by the CAO, that they come back to the council chamber. So I'm just would like to understand the reason why that didn't happen as it normally does.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I'm not sure what the appropriate response would be to this one, but I can assure council that in accordance with our procedure bylaw, the name of the senior staff members present during the meeting were captured as part of the initial meeting, and that's captured. In follow-up to the proceedings that took place after the closed session, I simply don't have an appropriate response because practice-wise, we have never captured the name of the individuals who were not part of the rise and report. So it's not a typical practice in accordance with the procedure bylaw. However, the name of the senior staff during the proceeding that took place were captured on the minutes. So I'm not sure if I have the appropriate response to provide at this time, Mr. Chair.
Thanks. I think what we can do is that, so what we're doing is looking to adopt the minutes. So if what we want is that be it resolved that council adopt the council minutes from meeting held on December 5th, 2023, we can have a mover and a seconder to that. If there's discussion and there wishes to be amendments, we could then vote on those amendments if they're desired by council, and if not, we can move forward. So that way, we allow the proper venue to speak to any suggestions that might arise. So I have read out that resolution. So is there a mover to that? Councillor Roy D. Clemente. Is there a seconder? Councillor Carruthers. So happy to any discussion on this? No discussion. All those in favor? All those opposed? And the motion carries. Okay, that takes us to correspondence. We don't have any correspondence at this time, and then that moves through to item I, which is the budget adoption of the proposed water and wastewater business plan. And I'm needing a mover and a seconder for this one as well. Do we have a mover for this one? Councillor Crone, did I see you? Yep. Is there a seconder for this? Councillor Carruthers. Probably pertinent. Why don't I read this out just so everybody is clear on what, if there's any discussion, then we can vote on it. So be it resolved that the Finance Department report FIN 2023-10 dated December 19th, 2023, entitled the 2024 Water and Wastewater Proposed Business Plan and Budget be received, and that council approve the 2024 proposed water and wastewater rate supported operating budget as summarized in Appendix 1 of the report FIN 2023-10, and that council approve the 2024 proposed water and wastewater capital budget as summarized in Appendix 2 of report FIN 2023-10, and that council approve the new staffing request as summarized in Appendix 3 of report FIN 2023-10, and that the 2024 water and wastewater fixed and variable rates be adjusted to the rates shown in Appendix 4 of report FIN 2023-10. And so I will open the floor now to any discussion on the motion. Would anybody like to speak to that? I am seeing none, so I will call a vote on this resolution. All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. This takes us to item J under reports, and that's a development services memo at part lot control exemption bylaw for Valley Brook Investments, Inc., which is Regal Crest Homes. Ms. Bégin, if I could turn it to you to provide any comments on this?
Certainly, through you, Mr. Chair. This is a standard report to permit the sale of 6 semi-detached units. The part lot control exemption bylaw is explained in the first paragraph of the memo, or sorry, of the memo. But happy to entertain any questions if there are any from members of council.
Do I seeing any questions from council? Give me a little bit of time. So seeing none, I'll read out the resolution. Be it resolved that the Development Services Memorandum dated December 19th, 2023, entitled Part Lot Control Exemption Bylaw, Valley Brook Investments Inc., Regal Crest Homes, PLC 2306 be received. Can I get a mover? Councillor Roy D. Clemente, seconded by Councillor Foster. All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. We've got a football night thing happening. We're calling the audible. Both screens went blank. We are now on an administration memo, bylaw to appoint a fire chief for the town of East Gwillimbury. So I will now turn it over to our CAO for comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this brief memo just provides a little bit of explanation regarding the bylaw that's contained below in section K, but I would really like to take this opportunity just to express sincere appreciation to Chief Rob McKenzie, who's been with the town for about 4 years now and has led our emergency services throughout that period and will be retiring December 31st. I just want to make a couple of comments. I had the opportunity to work very closely with Chief McKenzie through the longest state of emergency in town history through the pandemic. And what was interesting is the Emergency Services Department puts us through annual training as an administrative team on what we call our Emergency Operations Center and protocols. And so with Chief McKenzie as our Community Emergency Management Coordinator, when that state of emergency was declared, we actually used our training and our protocols for our EOC to manage our decision making, our analysis, our information sharing, our communications during the pandemic. And we were actually recognized coming out of the pandemic throughout York Region as having sort of utilized what they considered a best practice in terms of how we responded. So I just really want to express sincere appreciation to Chief McKenzie and to wish him all the very best in the next chapter of his life.
So thank you. And Chief, I just want to apologize with my computer going down like that and I was moving up here. I did not show you the deference that you deserve for your years of service while the CAO was speaking, and I want you to know that I sincerely apologize. I don't know what happened here. But since I've come on board, you've been nothing but a professional with myself, and I know with the rest of council. And I'm sorry that moment just happened because that wasn't supposed to be the moment that you had or you were deserving of. So I just wanted to reaffirm and say sincerest thank you to you. Thank you. I will also open it up to any members of council if they wish to say a few words. Understand that Great. Okay. So getting reoriented on my screen, we be it resolved that the administration memorandum dated December 19, 2023, entitled Bylaw to Appoint a Fire Chief for the town of East Gwillimbury be received. I need a mover for that. Councillor Foster, looking for a seconder. Councillor Crone, I see in a different spot on my screen. Thank you so much. Any other discussion on this? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. So down to bylaws, and I think we have a few bylaws to consider. Do we want to move them as one, or do we want to split them out? What is the will of council here? I'm seeing a nod from Councillor Crone. Okay, so Counselor Crone is, yeah, no, no problem. Okay, so with that, I will look to move this forward all as one. Do I have a mover for that as Counselor Crone, seconder, Counselor Foster? All those in favor? All those opposed? Motion carries. Now we are down to item L. Other business, we have no other business at this time, and we're on to the confirming bylaw. It's the last item, so looking for a mover on that. Confirming bylaw, who wants to give it to me? Councillor Roy Di Clemente, seconded by Councillor Crone. I'll read it out to make it official. Be it resolved that the bylaw 2023-09, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council meeting held on December 19, 2023, be taken as read, enacted, and signed by Mayor and Municipal Clerk. And that brings us to the end of our agenda. So looking for a motion to adjourn. Mover, Councillor Roy Di Clemente, seconded by Councillor Carruthers. Be it resolved that the meeting of council adjourned at 6:30. All those in favor? All those opposed? Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays. Thank you so much.